Hello everybody and welcome back to Benjamin Magnus Plays Kerbal Space Program. This is the third episode in this series, and the only goal that I have set for this episode is to get a kerbalnaut into space, into a stable orbit around the beautiful planet of Kerbal we have here. And we already have the contract, so we're going to go straight to the Vehicle Assembly Center, and we're going to work on that. And this is something I whipped up really quick. I'm not sure if I particularly like it at the moment. I'm thinking that it's not going to work the way I want it to right now. I don't know if it's going to have enough longevity to get it into orbit. So what I'm going to do is add on another stage by putting in another set of booster rockets. Just like that. Oops. And I forgot to put on symmetry right there. So just plopped one on one side. If you put it on symmetry, it'll do whatever you're trying to do on both sides, like that. Alright, and we'll just pop a nose cone on there for aerodynamic sake. We want to make sure that when it's getting a little more complicated like this, you want to make sure that it's the staging is appropriate. So these will launch, and what I want is to add another stage in, and I want this one and this one to launch. And where's my decouplers? So we're going to launch these two, and then we need this set of decouplers to fire in this stage right here. So it'll blast off the first stage and activate the second one. And then, so we launch the first one, blast off the first stage, launch the second stage, and then, let's see, this one right here will go here. So it'll blast off the second stage of rockets, initiate the burn on the third stage. And then what we're going to want to do is blast off the third stage. What is this one right here? Where is... This is a radial decoupler, and I don't know where it's for. Alright, I think I confused myself a little bit here, so we're just going to boop, delete that, boop, delete that. Just start over real quick. This is our basic two-stage liquid-fueled rocket. This is what's going to get us into orbit, hopefully. What I want to do is have two sets of boosters to get me high up into the atmosphere. So we're going to add on a stage right there and put on some, if I can find them, booster rockets. There we go. Okay. Alright, now, so we launch these. And, okay, that's good. That is what I wanted. And now I wanted a second stage of rockets. Just trying to get it into a halfway decent spot like that. Another set of rockets, and a lot of times the simplest plans are the best ones, and you get more complicated, more complicated, more complicated, and it just makes things, just turns it into a disaster. But it can be funny that way, so we're just gonna keep on working, make sure all this stuff is attached. No, it's not. I'm just trying to get the rockets. Sometimes it's a little hard to get the rockets attached to the decouplers. Let's try to zoom in a little. Like that. Is that attached properly? Yes, that is. That is attached properly. So that'll work perfectly fine. Now, the decouplers look like they're going to infringe on some stuff, so let's move them down a little. You don't want them to hit anything when they get knocked off, so we're going to launch. Right now it's set up to launch all these rockets at once, and that is not what I wanted. And why do these look like they're... You know what? I guess it doesn't really make that much of a difference. I'm just... The symmetry wasn't there. There, that's what I was looking for. Symmetry! So we're going to launch this one and this one, but not this one and this one. And we're going to want the decouplers attached to these two outside ones to fire. So it's that one and that one. Huh. I'm not sure why before, when I played this, didn't get as complicated as this. They tended to bind together when you did the symmetry thing, and it doesn't seem like they want to this time. So right now I'm launching these, and I need... those two, and I need the first set of decouplers and the Second from the top. So these two need to, that one and that one need to move. And this rocket. Okay, those rockets. Okay, so we launch these rockets, decouple those rockets, launch these rockets, and then we'll decouple. Let's see, make sure they're done right. Decouple, launch this guy, decouple, launch that guy, parachute. Okay, I think untitled spectator is already on. Clear the launch pad and proceed. Okay, whatever. I didn't realize I had left one out there, but we got everything back from it, so no big deal. No big deal whatsoever. Now we're going to try to get into orbit, and like I said, it's been a long time, at least a couple months, since I have tried this, so disaster is always a possibility. So turn on our SAS and let's just launch. And as you can see, the boosters are built for lifting, and what I'm going to try to do is get the first set of boosters to get me up to a little altitude, the second set of boosters to get me up to a bigger altitude, and then hopefully I'll have enough fuel in these two stages in the center to really get me into a good stable orbit, and have enough fuel left to degrade the orbit enough so that I can return to Kerbal. And as you can see, these things are just struggling to lift this much weight, because it is a lot of stuff. Right now it's just these two rockets trying to pull all this dead weight up. And they're gonna burn out pretty quickly. Got me up actually higher than I expected. I figured anything over 1,000 was going to be good on this one, but it got me up to over 3,000. Bam. There we go. Very nice. That worked out. Was just as I had planned. Didn't break anything. The rocket is still stable. We're gaining more speed. We're getting more altitude. Very nice. And even though this game looks, visually looks pretty simplistic, I find it very appealing. Like, as I'm getting up high in the altitude here, you can see the curvature of the planet. See the sun out there, and you can see the sun, and you can fly to the sun if you build the right spaceship. You can fly to the moon, which it will probably end up doing in a couple episodes, which, by the way, I'm terrible at trying to get to the moon. Alright, this is pretty good. We got a good amount of speed built up. We're not that high yet, but we have a good amount of speed built up, which is good. So we're about to decouple these. There we go. Nice. Now we're burning our liquid fuel rocket, and as you can see that this thing is starting to rotate. I'm losing a little bit of stability, but I can rotate it by hand to try to get back on the course I was at. And we're going to try to push this into an equatorial orbit, which means we're going to basically orbit around the planet, horizontal-like, around the middle of it, basically. So try to push this over onto its side, trying to push it into a more stable orbit. And what you really need to get your speed really high. That's there we go. And once you hit this part where it transitions to an orbit, you can really see, putting thrust thrusting up can really get you a big speed boost. And if we thrust down, see, we're still going to be increasing our speed. Let's take a look at our orbital map. See how it looks. Which is not too bad. Not bad at all. And we're going to want to keep an eye on what's going on here. And as you can see, because I'm burning my rockets right now, it's changing my orbital path, and that's being updated on the fly. So this is where the spaceship is going to travel. And what I'm going to do is cut the engines. 150,000. I kind of want it to be higher than that. See, our orbital speed's pretty high still. Okay, I guess we're gonna live with that. Let's switch back to our staging view and look at our fuel. It's gone, so we're gonna separate out here. Look how beautiful that is. And actually, we're gonna take the this moment to do a little bit of silence. Oh, it doesn't like this. Reset the experiment. Let's see if we can take a good crew report. Nope. We're very high up, and what I want to do is go back to my orbital map and set up a maneuver. A maneuver is just a way of planning your next step. Add a maneuver, and all we want to do is like that. Push this into an orbit, basically. Maybe not that, because I can do it in more than one maneuver to more efficiently use my fuel. And what I'm going to want to do is burn in the direction I'm traveling, basically. Towards this actually, now that I've added a maneuver, this little blue indicator is where the direction I'm going to want to burn. So I'm going to want to burn when I'm at the peak of my orbit, this point right here, marked with a little AP, in that direction, and that'll expand my orbit out. So I can stay in this view. We'll rotate. We can still control the spaceship. I'm rotating it here. I'm gonna point it right there, just like that. Let's just speed up time a little bit, try to get there quicker. And you can see right here it says node in T-minus 30 seconds. That's when I'm going to hit it. And the estimated burn is how long you're going to have to burn your engines at your current, thrust. So if I have it down here, you'll have to burn it down. You have to burn for a long time. If you have it all the way up to 100%, you won't have to burn as long. And I'm actually going to start burning a little bit early because I want to make sure I don't go past this point. So let's start burning. Let's crank it up. And as you can see, that changed. And there we go. You should be able to start see the blue line changing now. Yeah, you could see it just ever so slightly expanding the orbit out a little bit. And I didn't do this perfectly. I shouldn't be burning. It's not efficient to, burn past this point, which is what I'm going to have to do to get into an orbit. But we're going to try. We're going to keep trying to burn. Now, I should be able to burn for a good long time because this is a rather weak engine, so I should be able to keep it going and still not use up too much fuel. Let's see if I can get any mystery goo observations. We get a little bit out of it. I guess that's the same as we were looking before. So, let's go back to our orbital map because that's the most important thing to look at right now. And as you can see, it's getting a little bit bigger, getting a little bit bigger. Let's speed up time. Oh, you can't speed up time while you're accelerating. See, I need to push this up a little bit. I need to nose up my spacecraft. The best way to do it is to burn when you're on the near side of your orbital. This is the highest point of your orbit. You want to burn when you're on this side of it, not on the other side like I was doing before. And as you can see, changing the direction of my ship is changing how my orbit is. And we might be able to achieve it this time. Once you get past like the halfway point, the blue line really starts to expand really quickly, and I really hope I can make it. Let's see how my fuel consumption looks. Alright, we're still good on fuel. And you always got to remember, you got to leave a little bit of fuel left to burn retrograde, to degrade your orbit to get back into the planet's atmosphere. As long as you can start skimming the planet's atmosphere, it'll slow you down, and you will re-enter the atmosphere at some point. Alright, now we're going to actually slow this down. And as you can see, the blue line is really starting to expand out now. Before it was just moving, a little tiny bit at a time, but now, it doesn't look like it's moving very fast, but, it's flying across the side of the planet, thousands of miles an hour if it were an object. And what you want to do is you want to get these little guys to meet up on the other side, and that is it right there. Perfect. It's not perfect. I mean, I built a hideous spacecraft to do it. Now, did that count as me getting into orbit? Achieve orbit around Kerbal. It doesn't say I've achieved it. Now, I think I have to be above 70,000 on the periapsis, which is the lowest point of the orbit. So the key to doing that would be to burn again once I'm at this point over here. So what we're going to do is speed up time till we get closer to the... Oh, just past it, but we're okay still. That's retrograde. The little indicator with the X on it is the opposite direction of your travel. So let's just turn on the engine, and as you can see, we're flying out there, and it's really moving now. Okay, there you see. Yeah, I was right. I just got that contract. Achieve orbit around Kerbal. And for the first time ever in career mode, I am in orbit around the planet Kerbal. And I'm on the dark side of the planet. The sun's on the other side. It's Bill. It's not Jebediah. It's Bill Kerbal this time. Let's see if the goo... Pardon my microphone. Let's see if the goo reacts any differently. Nope, but it'll still give us a tiny little bit. Let's take a crew report. I actually didn't... I thought I'd be able to get a little more science from here. Let's do an EVA then. Take an EVA report. Okay, you record your observations about the situation. Very good. Let's grab back on. We actually weren't grabbed on there for a second, and I don't remember how to use the little thrusters. And look, we have half a fuel tank left. That is amazing. I got into orbit with half a fuel tank left. Oh, first try, it worked out pretty good. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, now the trick. Oh, and as you can see, this maneuver, not something that I'm going to be doing. Is that the moon? That's Minmus. This is the moon. Ah, okay. Because we're going to try to get there sometime soon. Now, to get back into orbit, what I'm going to want to do is speed up time. Oh. Didn't mean to do that. I accidentally hit a button and turned on my thrusters. What I'm going to want to do is get over here to the low point and burn retrograde, which means opposite of the direction of travel. So we're going to get over here, get closer, get closer, get closer, stop it. There we go. And see this little indicator with the X in it is retrograde, which is, like I said, opposite direction of travel. So turn on turn the thrusters up, and as you can clearly see, the orbit's shrinking, orbit's shrinking, orbit's shrinking. And really you could do this at any point, but it's just most efficiently to do it there, and you just shrink it down till you get to a point where your orbit has degraded. Just like that. Success. And speed time back up. Just because I'm not going to wait forever for us to orbit the planet. It would take forever. And it automatically slows you back down when you start entering the atmosphere again. Oh, and we're chugging a little. We're chugging a little. And as you can see up here, we got a ticker. It would have been 42 minutes of playtime without any, time compression. Alright, actually, you know what we should do is try to see if we can get a good crew report. Alright, yeah, that is a good crew report. What about a goo? Let's reset this goo container. The goo seems to be getting very cold now. Okay, there, that was actually good. Because that was more science than we had before. You know what I'm actually going to do now? Is I'm going to reset this one too, and I'm going to do an observation on the goo when we're actually, re-entering the atmosphere. And, and I'm apparently unaware of the direction of travel. Okay, we're going to actually point it down towards the Kerbal here. Speed up some time. And you'll see what I mean in just a second when we start to really slow down. La la la, la la la. There we go. I wanted to do an observation when we were burning up like that. Not actually burning up, just re-entering the atmosphere. Alright, it's getting cold, it says. Even though we're doing that. Oh well, no big deal. Back through the atmosphere. And if we land someplace interesting, you know what I could do to make sure I land someplace interesting? Because I still have fuel left over. Go retrograde again, and see if I can land in this desert land. Push up the thruster. Really mess with my orbit, okay. And as you can see, it's slowing us down in that direction. And now we're just gonna fall. Then we should be fine. I mean, we still gotta deploy our parachute. Nice! We achieved our orbit. I wasn't even bothering with the other things. I just wanted to achieve orbit, and I wanted to land in this, desert plain. Alright, let's deploy our parachute. Apparently, I forgot to put a decoupler on. I hope that's not a problem. I hope this isn't too heavy. Excuse me. Hope it's not too heavy for the parachute to handle. That would be a disaster. I mean, this will definitely get Okay. We're safe. This is definitely going to get crushed. We're moving at 13 meters per second. That's far too fast for anything to survive impact. That was a little mistake, but it's not going to cost us too much. Lose a little bit of money, but we'll make more than we'll lose by completing that contract. Boom! Oh, and we're okay. It only took out the engine. Now, Bill, do an EVA, please. Let go. Okay, let go. There you go. There you go, little dude. Do your little bunny hop walk. And we're going to do an EVA report. We're going to keep that data. We're going to take a surface sample. Lots of sand and rocks here. You're thankful that you've been in a climate-controlled environment because it sure looks hot out there. The sand is drying loose, and it looks like it's going to take some effort to clean your gear afterwards. Okay, we're going to keep that data. And we're going to try to get back in here. Come on. Yeah. Come on. Oh, come on, you little fat ass. You know you want to. Okay, we're just going to push the whole thing over with our body. Maybe we can use this pod as like a stairwell up. Grab on. Oh, that was interesting. Let's get over here. Forward. There we go. Okay. Recover vessel. Now we probably lost a lot of the, not a lot, but a little bit of the money that we spent on this vessel, but it worked out nonetheless. Let's see. We got 41.5 science. So we have a total of 105 now. Awesome. Very good. We lost about 20% of the value, which is about what I thought, and we gained a little bit of reputation. Not too bad, and I love that there is a day and night cycle on this. It just looks pretty cool. So before we call this an episode, let's take a look here and see what we have. Explore the moon! Alright, the next one is to explore the moon. Achieve orbit around the moon. Transmit or recover scientific data from space around the moon, so we could either send an unmanned probe and transmit data, or fly out there and fly back. Land on the moon, and transmit or recover data from the surface of the moon. Nice. That is going to be really... We're actually going to just grab that right now. And we have a ton of money, 148,000 Kerban currency or roots. And I think that's it. Very successful. Actually, we know what we should do really quick? Let's take a look at the Science Center. See what else we can pick up. So we can grab... Let's see. That is a tiny little booster, I think. Is it? Or is it a really, really, really big booster? I'm not sure what that is. I don't recognize that one. These are some bigger engines. That's another thruster and a fuel duct. I kind of want the fuel duct, and I'll probably end up showing you why next episode. So let's see here. Batteries. You know what? I think I'm going to go with this one. And I'll show you why I picked this one. It may not look important, but these external fuel ducts are super important, and I've never even gotten to this high. I've never gotten any of this stuff before, so that's all new to me. This is all new to me. Brand new to me. I've never gotten past this tier right here. So, we're going to call it an episode here on the same screen it was last time, too. If you've enjoyed this, drop me a like. Leave me any tips or tricks you feel I could use in the form of a comment. And if you're interested in more daily Benjamin Magnus Plays Kerbal Space program, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time.